Hello again. If you watched the previous videos I made about this, then I'm sorry that it's taken me this long to make this last part. This footage has actually been on the back burner for almost a year due to moving and a lot of other stuff. But here we are, and what's going on here is that I'm disassembling this pet feeder to see what's going on with this noise it's making when you close the lid. Now, I don't recommend that anybody do this. I only did it because we got a replacement and I had this one as a spare. If you have this issue with your pet feeder, contact the manufacturer through their website. I talk about this in I think it's my second video. So, obviously I screwed the bottom part loose, and there were some clamps holding it together after the screws were removed. So I had to be a bit careful with the bottom part. But with that one removed, you can clearly see the hardware under it. And the part I had the most problem with is this one right here, where I'm trying to keep the batteries still, because it was going all over the place with when the bottom part wasn't there, and with the slots for the batteries. But you can see here the part that's moving, this little lever, and it's attached to this sort of motor down there, and to me it looked very well, not maybe not very, but a lot more fragile than I wanted it to be, and I didn't really feel like taking it apart because I didn't know that I could put it back together without it having, suffer any damage or maybe even breaking. And I saw some people writing that they wanted to use some WD-40 or something like that to lube up the gears. And I'm not quite sure, but if there are any gears in that motor, then I would assume that they are most likely plastic, and you are probably not gonna get a lot of WD-40 in it. And it could even damage the motor itself. And I'm gonna talk about that also, but something funny happened after. But well, I could see that I couldn't really do anything with this. And there you can see the batteries falling out as I moved it. But I couldn't really do anything without picking apart that motor, and I didn't really feel like doing it. And I talk about this at the end of the video, and I keep pointing because I didn't know what I was gonna say in the video, but something funny actually happened, that when I had it turned around, it was kind of upside down. The lid kind of fell out, the plastic lid, when it pulls back, or pulls front and back. And that kind of fell out, so I had to push it back. And after that, it kind of stopped making that noise actually. And that was a bit weird. So maybe, just maybe, that the lid was ajar or something like that, wasn't in the right place. And maybe that is what caused, because this isn't a very strong motor, obviously. It's a little one, it's just electric, and it probably put a little more pressure on the motor, and that might have made the noise. Okay, so this is when everything is put back. Screws, everything, batteries, and for some reason it doesn't really have that sound anymore. I didn't really do anything. The only thing that happened was that this plastic kind of, when I held it upside down and I put the batteries in, the lid kind of moved itself, and then it kind of slid out of this slot. So I pushed that one back. Other than that, I didn't really do anything. But you can still hear some. I don't know if you hear that. It's a small sound that makes after it closes. But yeah, it might just pick up where it left off and just making that annoying sound again. But who knows? We'll see. It doesn't sound like that anymore, so that's weird.